From one team, 22-12, we focus our attention to another team, 22-12, and the champions of the Patriot League. Very excited to welcome American University and the Eagles. Just a reminder, those that are asking questions, to please state your name and media affiliation before every question that you ask. And then also, please silence your phones, and recording the press conference on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Very excited to introduce third team All-Patriot League and Elijah Stevens, All-Tournament team and Colin Smalls, Lincoln Ball, and then at the end, the MVP of the Patriot League tournament and first team All-Conference, Matt Rogers. Eli, we'll start with you. Just your excitement of being in March Madness and tomorrow night facing Mount St. Mary's.
Honestly, I'm really excited. We worked hard all season. All the work we put in is really going to show up Wednesday night.
Colin, same question.
For me, it's an exciting feeling. I remember watching March Madness back in high school on the Chromebook computers. Our teachers would put it on a projector. So being able to be a part of it is an amazing feeling. Ready to showcase what American basketball has to offer and go out and get a win tomorrow night.
Lincoln?
Yeah, super excited. Just another opportunity to go out and play basketball and do it with some of my best friends and for a coaching staff that we just love playing for. So being able to go out there and get another game and just enjoy every moment, embrace every moment, it's super exciting.
And Matt?
Yeah, it's been a dream of mine since first, second grade. So being able to play another game with my brothers and then being able to showcase for the AU community, the DMV, is exciting.
Open up the floor for questions. We'll come here in the first row, in the middle.
Matt Moderno, Believe in DMV Hoops. Hey, guys. Just three of your coaches have played in March Madness specifically, so any firsthand experience they were able to share, words of wisdom from being out on the court themselves?
Start with Matt.
Yeah, just going out there and playing our same game, being poised, staying disciplined, nothing different, just the lights are a little bit brighter, and just being confident in yourself.
Lincoln.
Yeah, they've we want to come here and win games, and they've been preaching us to really embrace the moment, celebrate that we're here, celebrate that we have this opportunity, but the job hasn't changed. Like, we're here to win and compete and put on our best showcase of what we do and what we've been doing all season. So they've definitely been giving us a really good message leading up to this.
Colin?
Something I took from Coach Jackie Manuel was get lost in the game. He told us in practice to lose ourselves in the game. When you do that, you kind of lose focus on whether you're making shots or not. You just focus on getting the win. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow night and throughout the rest of the tournament.
And Eli?
Something instilled in us a lot is staying confident, staying poised, having a strong mental. These are big games, so being poised, being confident is a big key.
Other questions for our student athletes? Let's go to the third row on the end.
Caleb Zaffe, University of Dayton. Looking back at your guys' season, was there a specific game or moment that you guys felt that you guys truly came together as one?
Eli?
Yeah, I'm not sure what game that would particularly be, in my opinion.
Any of the other guys, a turning point in the season in your mind?
I think it might have came, pretty recently. We lost at home against Navy, one of our last regular season games, and we kind of, took that as, the rest of the season could go one of two ways. Like, we either band together and, play our best basketball, or we kind of just, go in a direction we don't want to go in. And we had a lot of conversations as seniors and, as a team, and that kind of really brought us together. We've been playing our best basketball since that game. And I would say that was probably one of the bigger turning points for us. There's tons of ups and downs across the season, but I think that's something, recently that we really can draw back to.
We have a lot of experience up here. Colin, talk about the satisfaction of being there for as long as you have. You mentioned your brothers and then this accomplishment here in your last season in American?
It's really an amazing feeling being here with all the rest of the seniors that's been here for 4 or 5 years. I remember we used to have some dog fights, and we used to lose pretty badly when I first started out here. So to be able to win a championship, a Patriot League championship, and make it to the tournament is a truly amazing feeling. To do it with my brothers, it feels even more fulfilling.
Lincoln?
Yeah, I think we've seen all kinds of college basketball over our 4 or 5 years together, and I think we bring so much experience. The 4 or 5 of us that have been here for 4 or 5 years, and these guys, we spent so much time together on and off the court, and they're some of my best friends. So yeah, I mean, it's just been such a great ride, and I know that there's still some good bit of basketball left for us to play, and just really looking forward to it.
Matt?
Yeah, it's just exciting to actually, fulfill the dream of with these guys. We've been talking about it for 4 or 5 years, as everybody else has said. We've watched the March Madness. We've seen our name not be up there. We've seen all the losses. So it's just great to, achieve this goal and then, keep playing. And we're not yet, like Link has said before, we're not done. We want to compete in all these games that we're going to be playing, and it's just exciting to do it with these guys.
Let's go back to the second row.
Matt Moderno, Believe in DMV Hoops. For Matt, Lincoln, and Colin, you guys are from the general area. A lot of their guys are from the area too, 2 local schools. Does that add any extra juice to the matchup, I guess, playing guys you have some familiarity with?
I say it was always added fuel to the fire when you're going against someone from the area. I know me personally, I've been playing with and against Xavier Lipscomb on Mount St. Mary's since probably about 4th, 5th grade. So it's a great feeling that we're both here. I'm proud of him for sure, but definitely gonna try and get that W tomorrow. Pretty sure that goes for them too.
Lincoln, want to chime in on?
Yeah, I think you keep track of the teams that are around you, and we've played them out 3 times. Didn't play them this year, non-conference, but yeah, I think it's super exciting. And Matt and I grew up half an hour from the Mount, so I think it definitely adds another layer. I mean, anytime you talk about like the DMV basketball, DMV guys, like it brings a little bit of extra intensity.
Matt?
I don't got anything else. Yeah.
Eli, when's American at their best? When are you guys playing your best basketball?
We're playing our best basketball, I think, when we're out in transition, when we get stops, when we hang our heads on defense. I think when we do that, we put together a real good offensive end.
And I'll ask the same question to you, Colin.
I would kind of say the same thing. When we're locked in on defense, we're a tough team to beat, and when our back's against the wall, don't count us out, because we'll definitely keep swinging.
And Lincoln, what makes American unique and sort of the makeup of this team?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of versatility. I think Eli and Matt run a lot of the show for us in the half court, and I think this guy Matt's very, very versatile, and he's a tough guard for a lot of big man. And I think we're so connected, and we've played so many basketball games together. We've played so much basketball together. So I think we have that added just love for one another, and I think that kind of carries us and gives us a little extra passion and care about what's going on the court, and kind of carries us a good bit.
Colin, you mentioned growing up and being in school, Firefox, watching the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite March Madness moment?
Favorite March Madness moment? Honestly, the UNC Villanova game when Chris Jenkins hit that crazy shot at the end. That's probably my most memorable moment from March Madness.
Eli, favorite moment?
I honestly say the same thing. That's the moment I remember more vividly than others.
Lincoln, you going 3 for 3 here?
I would say I really enjoyed the Florida Gulf Coast runs that they had. Dunk City, and that was pretty cool as a younger kid to see that. Wishing you could dunk and seeing all that was cool.
And Matt?
I would say the UMBC upset was a pretty cool moment, being from the DMV, just seeing a local team, be the first 16 seed to upset somebody. So that was a pretty cool experience to, be a part of.
Matt, for those individuals that aren't necessarily familiar with the DMV, what makes basketball and just sort of that space just a passion, I guess, for it, and what we're seeing looking ahead towards tomorrow night, and two teams right in that area with a lot of players from that area.
It's just like a lot of hard-nosed, gritty basketball from the jump. All the way through your growing up, elementary school days to middle school days, you're playing the same people. People are always getting better. There's always a good team. It's always going to be a dogfight between whoever you're playing. And just, iron sharpens iron. So just going against the greatest guys every day is just what DMV basketball, represents.
Lincoln, same question.
Yeah, I think we talk about it all the time, like arguing who has the best high school basketball in the area. I mean, Eli will argue till he's blue in the face that it's Texas, but a lot of us, we really do believe that the DMV is the best high school basketball in the best area. So it's been just so awesome and such a great experience, for myself and playing with Matt and playing with Colin, playing against Colin, and whether it's high school or AAU, it was so great. It's maybe the player that I am today, and so many great things about the DMV, and I think basketball is one of the best.
Colin?
Like both of them said, it's gritty. It's a gritty brand of basketball, hard-nosed brand of basketball, and definitely competitive matchups from probably second grade up until now. As you can see, we play Mount St. Mary's tomorrow, so definitely shaped the way I play and the person I am today. I'm grateful to be a part of it and grateful to represent the DMV basketball in the national tournament.
All right, Eli, let's get the Lone Star State in this thing. Texas tomorrow night. Not only you're out there on the floor, but the Longhorns are in the building too.
Yeah.
Give me your defense of Texas basketball.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think Texas got the best hoops. Guard-wise, I feel like there's a lot of competition out there. I played a lot of competition growing up, especially in AAU. So, yeah, I'm always going to root for Texas when we having those conversations.
Let's go to the second row in the middle.
Matt Maderno, believe in DMV hoops. You guys are the senior leaders here on the team, but you have a couple younger players that are in the rotation. Any message to them to kind of keep them locked in and focused?
It's just staying poised in the moment, embracing the moment, as we've said before. Not getting too high or too low, and just keeping a level head. Losing yourself in the game is what we've always said in those moments.
Piggybacking off of what Matt said, we're here on a business trip. It's not a field trip, so we always try to tell them, keep your head down, stay focused, and make sure we get the job done. Fun can come later.
Other questions for our student athletes? Eli, what are you looking forward to most tomorrow night?
The big lights. As our coaches would say, the softer towels, the more plush seats, I'm looking forward to it all, though. Just the whole entire experience and just embrace it all.
Colin?
Really the same thing. Seeing a good band of basketball, seeing our AU community, families, friends in the stands made the trip, and just happy to share this experience with my brothers and my coaching staff.
Lincoln?
Yeah, I'm just excited to play another basketball game and get another opportunity to play, and especially with these guys. I know I talk about it a lot, but just love playing basketball with these guys and playing at one of the biggest stages and something you think about your whole childhood. So super excited just for the moment and hopefully get a win and just embrace every moment.
Matt, thoughts on the big stage?
Yeah, just living in the moment, playing with my brothers, my teammates, my coaching staff. Embracing all the fans that are going to be here, all the bright lights, so it's going to be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. Guys, congratulations on the season that you've had, and we are so excited and thrilled to watch you tomorrow night. Best of luck.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
As the players exit, really excited to bring on the head coach, and Dwayne Simpkins, again 22-12, 13-5, and champions of the Patriot League. As tomorrow night, 6:40, Mount St. Mary's and American here in the first four. Coach, before we open up the floor, just your opening statement and what is an exciting time for American.
Yeah, first off, Dayton does it first class. I mean, they've only been here 24 hours, but guys do a tremendous job here. So thank you to all the volunteers who have helped put this on. It's really, really good. So happy for my guys, in particular the seniors. I got choked up about 2 months ago. We were, post-practice, and we get in our circle, and we try to recap whatever happened that day, and I didn't feel that we were playing with the type of urgency and effort that we needed to win a championship. And I told them how much and how bad I wanted it for them. I know how much they've been through. So to see them get a chance to experience this, this is priceless for me as a coach. And what it means for AU in general, I mean, it means a lot. Anytime, we're going to be one of 2 games on national TV tomorrow in college basketball. And for millions and millions of people to see American on our jerseys, I hope to have a good performance and obviously win, but make people say, hey, what's this American about? And Google it and go to our school webpage. And, they may talk to their niece and say, hey, I know you're applying for different schools. You may want to look at American and garner interest from a lot of people because we have a tremendous university. We have a tremendous where it's located, Washington, D.C. I'm biased, I'm a DMV guy. But the people in the community that make up our school is unlike any other that I've been around in college basketball, and I've been around for a while. So I just want everybody to get a chance to experience the greatness of our school, American University.
Open up the floor. Questions for Coach. We'll go to the second row.
Matt Bernardo, Bleeding DMV Hoops. Dwayne, you hear a lot that the best teams are player-driven, and you've got a lot of senior leaders on the team here. How much that kind of help you get these guys ready for a game like this?
Yeah, it's we just gotten to that point probably the last 3 weeks of the season. I think that we've become a player-led program. They're going to need my help a little bit. Jackie Manuel from the standpoint, and Ike Tate, our assistant coaches, from the standpoint that we've been here before. We know what it's like. I told those guys the light's going to be brighter, seats are plusher and everything else. But I was just telling the guys on a radio interview this morning, I remember my first game in Wichita, Kansas, where we were playing St. Louis and 250 game or whatever it was, and it felt like everything was going 1,000 miles an hour. And it felt like I couldn't dribble a basketball and like nobody could make a shot. They're going to go through that. I'm letting them know that. If they make some shots and everything, they start off fine, I'd be great, but my expectation is that's what it's going to be, and I'm going to be able to tell them that it's cool. We've been there. I know what it's like. We'll call a timeout if we have to settle our nerves, but we'll just try to utilize the fact that we have some institutional knowledge, so to speak, within our coaching staff.
Let's go to the third row.
Artie Pierletti, University of Dayton. Coach, how has your team grown over the course of the season to get to this point right now?
We understand more now than we did 2 or 3 months ago what urgency looks like, what toughness looks like, in particular from a spiritual standpoint, an emotional standpoint. And it's not just 1 or 2 guys, but like collectively. And then, we talked about it briefly. We're now, I think we're more of a player-led program versus a coaches-led program. And what I mean by that is I see when I call a timeout, there's a TV timeout or whatever, when I'm walking back to the huddle after I've talked to our assistant coaches, when I'm walking back to that huddle, I see guys engaging. They're talking. They could even be arguing a little bit. Before I come in at halftime, those guys are actually, I can hear the voices from the hallway talking about the things that they've got to improve on, challenging one another. That wasn't the case. Definitely wasn't the case last year. Wasn't the case early in the season. But again, up until the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, I think we've finally gotten to that point.
Let's go to the last row.
Don Nelson from Ohio University. Coach, you talked about the university as a whole and how everybody works together, and it's a good place to go to. As far as your community, the university? How is the support since you guys have made it here? How's the support from those
Man,
areas?
it's nothing like winning. You know, I think our support was there. You know, family, friends, people who are close to the program, have been around the program for years. But what I've seen over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or what have you, I think we have now grown that base of supporters. Now, obviously, you got to continue to win. But I equate it to when I was at Maryland, my freshman year, we got our tails kicked every game. We think we finished next to last. The following year, we came back. We added a guy named Joe Smith, who ended up being the #1 pick in the draft, who wasn't that bad. That helped. But I remember when my freshman year, you could just walk off the street and you can come in the Cole Fieldhouse, get a ticket, no matter who we play. It could be Carolina, it could be Duke, it didn't matter. And my senior year, we started off, we beat Georgetown on national TV. They were top 10 in the country. We beat them in overtime. And we proceeded to start the ACC season like 4 or 5-0. And I remember we were coming off the road. We played at Georgia Tech. We lost on a Saturday. We're coming back home Saturday night. And we are coming up the hill to go to Cole Fieldhouse and to see hundreds of people sitting in tents lined up. That's when it was like, that's what winning does. And that's what, in my mind, that's what I always go back to when in terms of like building a program and trying to like do it the right way, but do it, you know, in a way that's going to sustain. That's what excites me. When I see all these people in Bender Arena that I've seen the past 2 or 3 weeks, I go back to that. I'm like, man, that's a pretty cool thing. It's really cool.
Let's hop online. Question for Coach via Zoom. Patrick, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Patrick Waring from the NBS Sports Hour. You already touched on it a little bit, of course, being from the DMV with you. I mean, legendary playing career in the DMV. What does this mean to you personally to be able to be home, come to American, and get them to this moment to make the tournament?
It means a lot, man. You know, from a professional standpoint, you know, no matter where I was able to accomplish this, you know, getting to the NCAA tournament, whether it be in Ohio or wherever my school where I was working, wherever it was, you know, it's always great. But it's even more special, obviously, being from the DMV and being able to do it at home. Cousins and aunts and uncles. I got a big family. My wife's got a big family. She's from the DMV as well. So it makes it extra special. It really does. And my hope and dream is that I'm able to be able to utilize this platform now to like help benefit some other people. You know, we got our Boys and Girls Clubs in Washington, D.C. are shrinking. You know, I won't go into it, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the city that I'm not pleased with. You know, there are certain resources that I was afforded when I was growing up in D.C. that are no longer there. I couldn't tell you where I would be right now if I was not afforded those opportunities. So I hope to be able to utilize this platform to kind of take the next step and be able to help some other people that are in need in the D.C. area.
Coach Matt Rogers is a really talented player who can put the ball in the bucket. How satisfying was it in what he was able to showcase and being named MVP of the Patriot League in your tournament run?
It was cool from the standpoint of there was some voting that occurred in our league that I did not agree with at all. Matt Rogers has been the best player in our league. No disrespect to Noah Williamson, who ended up winning it from Bucknell, but our team was in first place for a good month and a half of the season, and Matt Rogers was at the forefront of that. So for me, I thought it was basketball karma, quite honestly. I thought Greg Jones on our team should have got third team. I thought Eli Stevens instead of third team should have got second team. But at the end of the day, if Matt Rogers is, or one of our players is MVP of the Patriot League tournament, that means that we won it. And that's more validation than anything. So I would rather go dancing than get a postseason award. That doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot right now.
Let's go to the second row in the middle.
I don't know, believe in DMV hoops. Dwayne, you mentioned the playing experience, you know, here in the tournament on your coaching staff, but first time for you here as a head coach. Any message you got from any of the other great coaches you worked for and been around?
No, everybody just pretty much said have fun with it. Gary Williams just texted me on my way here and told me he's proud of me. Just told me have fun, get you guys to play hard. I don't think there's any special things anybody has given me so far.
Jump across the aisle, third row.
Patrick Sableski, University of Dayton. You have a very experienced roster, but a lot of those guys have been an American for a few years now.
Yeah.
What does it say about your program and your players that you're able to find success with homegrown talent in a time and place when transferring is so prevalent?
Yeah, again, it speaks to the specialness of a couple things. One, the university. All those guys have established roots at American. They've developed relationships with different, deans and professors and the like. And then, more importantly, those guys, they have a genuine love for one another. That was obvious when I got the job. You can tell that there was a connection there with those guys. And obviously, we've been taking it to another level, but they genuinely love one another. And I think I was fortunate, Matt Rogers had some Power 4 schools coming around and offering this, offering that, and at the end of the day, we talked, and the general thought for myself was, don't surrender, don't take these short-term riches, so to speak. You have a school community that has embraced you. You have a school network that is going to take you well beyond basketball. It's going to be here for the next 30, 40 years, and you got a chance to hang a banner. You have a legitimate chance to hang a banner. He knew what role that he had here. So, and he also didn't want to disappoint his teammates that he's been here with for 4 years. So, all those things combined, man, allowed us to be able to keep Matt Rogers. If Matt Rogers isn't here, quite honestly, I'm probably not here right now. Yep.
Coach, Selection Sunday, you see your name pop up on the board, always a thrill. But then the fact that you're playing Mount St. Mary's. Well, I know you guys didn't play in the regular season, but traditionally you do.
Yeah.
And just sort of your thoughts of, here we are in Ohio and sort of a backyard brawl.
Yeah. Donnie Lynn texted me about noon on Sunday and said, man, I hope we don't have to play each other. And I said, Donnie, we probably are. Just from looking at the metrics and everything, we're probably going to play each other. But it's cool. Some people say, man, you shouldn't have to play a team that's an hour and a half from you. It doesn't matter. This is the NCAA tournament, man. So we're excited to play them. They're a very good team. They're a hot team right now. He's faced some adversity with some injuries, and Donnie's done a tremendous job in year one. So, no, it really doesn't matter to me, man, whether they're an hour away from us or 10 hours. Doesn't matter.
In a follow-up to your opponent, what's your biggest concern in going up against the Mount?
They play physical. Physicality, going to play tough. They are very good. They're going to shoot some threes. Some of them I see, I'm like, man, that's a tough shot, and he makes them. So we're going to have to take stock of their three-point shooting. Good thing is we've done a pretty good job from three-point percentage defensive perspective. I think we're top 150 in the country right now. We're allowing 6 per game in the Patriot League and allowing those shots at 33%. So it's one of the things that we do well. And then the other thing is offensive rebounding. They do a really good job of crashing the glass. They'll send 3, 4, 5 guys sometimes. And we got to be sharp. We think we're like number 47 in the country right now, defensive rebounding percentage. So the things that they do well are things that so far we've done real well. And now we got to make sure we just do it on the big stage.
We mentioned your playing experience. Do you have a favorite March Madness moment?
Probably. So we played John Calipari's UMass team, which is loaded. Marcus Camby, the most notable name, and we played them earlier that year, and they beat us pretty good. Referees were a little shaky. We played up in Springfield, Mass, so it was a little shaky. But I remember they were talking big time trash when they knew the game was over. I mean, big time trash. And when we're at home, we just squeak into the tournament my sophomore year, and we see our name pop up, and we're in the same bracket with UMass. To be able to beat St. Louis and then turn around and we're playing UMass, we're down 18 points or whatever, and to come back and win and to see the look on Calipari's face was priceless for me. He's probably going to say something to me next time he sees me on the road. But that was priceless because I knew like how good they were and how good of a coach he was, and I mean he was pissed after the game. That was pretty cool.
And looking at that moment, and because there's just so many of those special moments, why is March Madness just so special?
Man, I think a lot of it is the fact that it's almost, I don't want to say it's input into you from a young time. Like, when you're young, I don't know about you guys, but like my teacher when I was in elementary school, she would roll the little cart out and we would stop class and we would watch NCAA games. So it's always been a part of our DNA, so to speak. I know it's been in the D.C. area, maybe all around the country. And then just to know from the DMV, man, we have so many really good players that have come out who've had success in college and in the pros. We've had so many people that we looked up to, and when it comes on, man, it captivates so many people. But just think about it, so it's only 68 of these teams, right? In 3 out of 360-something teams. Like, it's special. It's really special.
Let's go back to the second row.
Mamet or no, believe in DMV hoops. You guys haven't played since last Wednesday. Any hangover or layoff there that you guys have had to try to work to power through?
Well, we'll see tomorrow night. That's for damn sure. But we're practicing. We're trying to be very intentional and intelligent, hopefully, with our practice. We're not going long, but we are simulating that 3 or 4 minute stretch that we're going to have in games and everything. And so, I think the biggest thing, man, is just going to be the jitters. It's going to be the jitters, and they're going to be here. Like I tell our guys, like, the offensive stuff will take care of itself. In the defense, we can control that. We control our rotations. We can control our Leo being, efficient with our words and being loud early and often with our verbiage. All those things are really important. So just controlling the controllables and, trusting our preparation at the end of the day. Yeah.
Coach, what's your favorite thing about this team?
Their resilience. Their resilience to be able to face adversity, and when things don't look well, just look it right in the eye and just say, all right, let's go. We had a number of times, last year we had 9 games that we lost by 2 possessions or less. I don't know if that's as much of an indictment on my players or myself as a coach, but we all took accountability for it, and spent a lot of time in the summertime watching film. I watched all of those games that we lost 2 or 3 times. A number of things that I could have done different, a number of things that I wish that I had prepared our guys for, whether it be a sideline out of bounds with 4 seconds to go or whatever the case may be. We were very intentional about doing those things throughout the season, and now I think we flipped it. I think we're 9-2 in those games and won 7 of those games in a row. But the one game that stands out to me is we're playing at home against Lehigh, and we're down 7 points with 34 seconds, and they're shooting a free throw. And I didn't get a sense from anybody when we in the huddles or watching it on film that anybody felt like the game's over. They played until the horn blew, and fortunately the horn blew after we got a game-winning basket to win. I mean, that doesn't happen. That means you got a special group of guys. And my hope for them, and I told them, I said, this is for well beyond basketball. Like, your life is going to kick you in the mouth, and how you going to respond to it? You're going to fight through it. You're going to take a step back and say, hey, dig in more. I hope that our guys have gotten that lesson more than anything this year.
A lot of the times in coaching, there's just teaching moments, right? It's one and the same. But for you as the coach, has this team taught you something?
That's a good question. Damn, man, where'd you get that one from? Probably, I got to process that one, man. That's a tough one. I would say just off the top of my head, how just you're always growing and evolving. Coming into the job last year, my first time as a head coach in college, I felt like, all right, I know I want this, I know I want that. And some of the experiences that I had off the court with these guys showed me, like, no, that's dumb. That's not the smartest thing you need to do. Like, you need to probably look at this and look at that. And these guys, I allow them to, whenever we have film and everything, I tell them I want them to be interactive. I don't want them to just say, hey, coach, whatever you tell us to do, that's what we're going to do. I tell those guys, fellas, if this doesn't make sense, say something. And we've gotten to the point where those guys are like, coach, I thought that we were doing it this way, but the more we do it, can we look at this? And we get together with the staff and we're like, you know what, that makes sense. So I think they're teaching me how to be a better coach when it comes to things like that, the communication and the teaching on the court.
Other questions for Coach? We got one more?
Paul Chu, University of Dayton Media. Just like a DMV person myself, what's your go-to cheap meal restaurant after all this?
What's the go-to what now?
Restaurant.
At home?
Yeah, DMV.
Oh, man. If you want to celebrate, I celebrated the other day with my family. Went to True Lux. Can't do that too often. I don't make that much. So you got True Lux. You know, anytime you get seafood in the DMV, man, it's cool. Once you get springtime, my family will go out to Annapolis, a place called Cantler's. Best, you know that place, huh? Yeah, I go there all the time. Yeah. So Cantler's get some good crabs, some blue crabs, and that's it, man. We bounce around. We're fortunate in the DC area. We got a lot of good restaurants, but those are on top of my head.
We are so excited to see the DMV on full display tomorrow night as American takes on Mount St. Mary's. Coach, thank you so much, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You give that to me.